Oh!
That was too hard. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
You're just sick.
It's fine because I can breathe. That's a good indicator that a shot wasn't too hard.
You did recover very quickly.
Because like with most shots, you can't breathe afterwards. That's the point of it. But like, I can breathe, so it's fine. Had a good sound to it though.
That's why I thought I'd hit you really hard, because the noise was like... Hello everybody and welcome to Working Title Productions. My name is Ben, his name is Ed, and today we're bringing you the Ghostbusters review. Sort of. I mean, like, there'll be a couple of things that happen towards the end as well, but primarily, this is our Ghostbusters review. Look, we don't really need to explain too much the history of this particular incarnation of Ghostbusters. I think right off the bat, to explain it to people who are probably more casual fans, this does not exist in the same universe as the first two Ghostbusters films. This is a reboot in every sense of the word. It is as much connected to the first Ghostbusters movie as Man of Steel is connected to Superman Returns. Not at all. Like,
before we get into it, what are your just like?
What's your the whole trailer thing?
No. But like, what's your context for like how much you like Ghostbusters? Like, obviously, a lot of people really love the first.
The franchise,
the first two movies. Yeah. But like, what's your thoughts on them? Because I think they're fine, but like, I don't have any great love for Ghostbusters, so that's how I went into this movie.
Yeah, so I have very fond memories of the first film. I actually have not seen it in a while. Like, it just got swamped by other franchises eventually. Your Star Warses, Dark Knights, all those things. Lord of the Rings probably as well. But no, I have very fond memories of the first Ghostbusters. I only saw the second one like maybe once or twice. The latest being when I was 12, and even then I remember it just sort of being And I saw the Screen Junkies honest trailer for it the other day, which pretty much confirmed my thoughts that, this definitely wasn't as good as the first one. So, very fond memories of the first one, not so much the second. When the trailer came out for this particular version of Ghostbusters, and it is the most disliked trailer in YouTube history. Not the most disliked video, I don't think, but the most disliked trailer in YouTube history. Wow, like... And you know what, for the craziest thing, like, everyone's yelling, it's either going to be a terrible movie, or, no, you're just sexist, it's going to be amazing. For all of its infinite wisdom, the internet has proven once again that the thing it's best at doing is overreacting about something that doesn't really matter at all. It's entirely inconsequential, because the reality is that this movie isn't the worst movie ever made. It's not a pile of crap. And it's also not God's gift to cinema or feminism or any of those things people claimed it was really about. It's just a by-the-numbers summer blockbuster. It's not a bad one. It's not a particularly good one either. It's just a movie. Those are my thoughts on this Ghostbusters. Yeah. I could end the review right there, but we'll go into more detail and I'll let you talk for a bit.
Yeah, it was really funny because after we came home from the cinema, I was just like, I like to go into IMDb, let's read about the movie basically once I see it. I found it very interesting. All the main cast members have either hosted SNL or have been cast members of SNL for a really long time.
Huh.
And
I had no idea.
And so I was thinking about it, I was like, that actually makes sense because the movie plays out like basically just like a 2-hour SNL skit.
Yeah.
Except it's not a good SNL skit.
Oh.
It's like it's just a not good one. Because like the movie's just like doesn't really know what it wants to be. Like
not really.
Like you've got like they try and build these like characters like with these 4 main characters, but like you don't get a real like clear sense of any of them because they continually do things that just go against what they're trying to build the character as. Like
they just do things.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kirsten Wiig's character is supposed to be like the grounded physics scientist who used to believe in ghosts but doesn't anymore and is like brought back into it, and she's like supposed to be like the straight thinking, straightforward one, the one who isn't crazy, but she's the one who ends up the most crazy in the movie. Like it's like she keeps doing things that just like doesn't make sense for a character.
Yeah, like there's this, like, for example, I'm going to talk about it. It's like minor spoiler, but it's in a TV spot. So, like, you can find it on YouTube already. There's like this thing where, like, we don't want to cause mass hysteria. And then later in the movie, she's holding onto a table being dragged out of this place, yelling, evacuate the city! Evacuate the city!
Yeah,
like a
like
mad
she's
woman.
like, yeah, it's just really silly, I feel like. And, like...
That was something I would have given to a more insane character, like Kate McKinnon's character.
Or even Melissa McCarthy's character.
Or even, actually, not probably Melissa McCarthy's.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon is crazy, but in a very calm way.
Yeah, speaking of Kate McKinnon, I thought she was awesome in the movie. She's probably the best part of the movie.
Oh,
she's
definitely.
like legit. Like she's like I was looking through like everything else that she's done. She does make mainly voice work, and obviously she's been an SNL cast member for like 6 years or something ridiculous like that. But she was really really good in this. Like her character was great. She had some great moments, and she was the one who was continually providing the laughs.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than the more established actors like Kirsten Wiig and Melissa McCarthy, who I didn't think were very good at all in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like Paul Feig movies. I don't like Kirsten Wiig and I don't like Melissa McCarthy. Like I think Bridesmaids is an excellent movie.
I haven't seen Bridesmaids.
It's really, really good. And this is coming from like an 18-year-old male who probably saw it when he was 16.
You're not the target demographic.
But like this movie just like, it's got no charm, it's got no character, and it just stuff happens and you're not really invested in it at all.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get back. You were saying the film doesn't have any like clear motivational direction. I'll get back to that in a second. While we're on the characters, I did find it very, very interesting. The characters, they have a reasonably good relationship with each other. Their chemistry is fine. They operate reasonably well as a team, but you find it more interesting that the more established actors, or at least the more well-known ones, in Melissa McCarthy and Kirsten Wiig, are the weaker characters, and it's Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon that really stand out more.
Yeah. And even though Leslie Jones' character is a stereotypical black woman who knows the streets for some reason just because she works on the subway or whatever, like it's stereotypical, but it's also
it's not hammed up too much.
It's so well done in a stereotypical way that it's just funny.
Yeah. Well, they don't ham it up too much. So Leslie Jones' character works, and you need someone who knows the streets of New York. So in that instance, I understood it. It never became too much where it was just like, oh my god, stop playing the race joke. We get it, she's black. It really only ever happens once, and it's in that thing you see in the trailer. I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell.
Which is a funny line.
Yeah,
That's
it
funny
works.
I love
it works really well within the movie. A lot of the jokes that fall flat in the trailers work really well in the movie, which probably explains why so many people were disliking a trailer to a film that's certainly not as bad as Jack and Jill or The Room. You wouldn't have seen those films' trailers getting... The Room's trailers probably got more likes than dislikes because people find it so bad it's good. I'm sidetracking way too much. Kirsten Wiig, who has been in a lot of comedies, she's proven her comedy chops. She's been in quite a fair few horror films as well. So she's proven like her chops for horror, particularly like paranormal horror.
This movie isn't scary.
Yeah. For some reason,
there's a little bit of tension and stuff at the start of it, and it's kind of okay, well done, but like it's not scary.
She can't bring that like tense nuance from the horror genre, even like in a thriller sort of way. And she can't seem to bring the comedy with her from any of her other comedy films as well. And yeah, she's sort of just like stuck in the middle, not really doing anything. Melissa McCarthy as well is just sort of there to be a little bit bitter at Kirsten Wiig for leaving her and becoming a more successful professor at a college or wherever they were, and abandoning her. And this thing they did that I'm not going to spoil, because we don't want to spoil too much. We'll only probably talk about what's already in the trailers. Sure. So it's down to Leslie Jones, who I already explained, who is slightly stereotypical, but not in a way that's too hammed up. It works within the movie. And Kate McKinnon, who's really the only genuinely interesting character of the four main leads. I found it to be really enjoyable and a lot of fun.
But on Kate McKinnon's character, we learn nothing about that character.
Exactly.
She's
just
only
there.
funny because of Kate McKinnon's performance. Like, she's just like stereotypical mad scientist, but we don't know why she's mad, we don't know, like, we don't learn anything about her.
We don't know why she stole whiplashes from Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Like,
but her performance is so funny that you just like, yeah, whatever, this is funny, so I'll go along with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Want to talk about Hemsey?
Yeah, in a second.
Oh.
I just want to say that, like, you talk about, we don't know anything about Kate McKinnon's character, which is true. We don't. But we don't really know much about any of these characters. Like, any chance this film gets... Any chance it gets to let its characters grow, any opportunity it has, it never takes. It plays it very, very safe and very much by the numbers.
I mean, I feel like we learn a little bit about Kirsten Wiggs and Melissa McCarthy. Like, they talk about how when they were growing up, like, they were interested in ghosts, and then their whole backstory as partners, and then the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's all said, but it never really lends to what they're doing now. There's no action to back it up, and there's no real attachment to the story either. Yeah. You said you want to talk about Hemsey. Yes, I do want to talk about Hemsey. Chris Hemsworth, our boy from Down Under here, in my opinion, is the funniest part of the whole movie, and he's the best part of the whole movie. He's really, really, really stupid, his entire character.
And they never fail to bring it up at any point, like...
They beat you over the head with it quite thoroughly.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is dumb.
Yeah.
Like, really dumb. Of course, well, not really. The character is really, really dumb. Kevin? Kevin's his name. Kevin is really dumb.
Also, Kirsten Wiggs is attracted to him for no reason. It's
actually credit to the film. They never play it out like your typical romance where she just kisses him at the end for no reason. In that instance, it's not your stereotypical romance shoved into the middle of a summer blockbuster. It's like, oh yeah, she's attracted to him because he's Chris Hemsworth. And he's gorgeous. Like, that's it. So, like, I found it annoying, but I can go with it. Like, at least it wasn't, oh, they have to kiss at the end of the movie. That doesn't happen. Spoilers.
But, like, even the way Kirsten Wigg was crushing on Chris Hemsworth's character, it just was just awkward and cringy and just like...
It does distract from the rest of the film, yeah. But
once again, didn't make sense for a character. Once again, with the grounded scientist who, like, you at the start of the movie didn't believe in the paranormal, and now she's like, this movie. Yeah. It's got problems.
Just in that. So yeah, Chris Hemsworth is very, very funny, but it's mostly because he is very stupid. And he doesn't really add anything to the plot for the most part. There is something that he does, which we won't really talk about because spoilers.
No, it was in the trailer. Yeah.
Okay, you're right. We can talk about it a little bit. Obviously, this ghost inhabits Chris Hemsworth's body. It takes him over. It possesses him.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit that happens there, but it's not really to the point. It's like, no, we have to go save our secretary. It's like, oh, look, I got Kevin. I guess we're going to fight Kevin now. Okay, let's go fight Kevin. And then they go and fight Kevin. And it's just like, oh, okay. The film's real villain is so paper thin. He's literally there just to move the plot along. Like, and I say, like, this film has a plot. It has a reasonable plot. It's got a substantial plot, one that can carry a 90-minute film, but it doesn't have a story. There's nothing here that gives you a personal connection. There's nothing here to learn. You said before, and I really wanted to talk about it a lot earlier, that this film doesn't really have clear direction or anything like that. I believe that when they first pitched the idea of this all-female Ghostbusters film, that they had like this grand idea. They were going to do something bold and interesting and something really, really new. They wanted to take the opportunity having 4 female leads and do something amazing with it. But in the end, because of the risk associated with having 4 female leads as opposed to 4 male leads, whether it be Paul Feig, the director, or studio executives, or whoever, somebody got cold feet, and those ideas were never really fully realised. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here.
Alright.
Because it just sort of hit me last night. It's like, the film never gives its characters an opportunity. It gives them an opportunity to grow, but it never takes those opportunities, almost as if they're afraid about the ultra-sensitive feminists. And I'm all for feminism. Feminism is essentially equality. That's a good thing. But they're worried about the overly sensitive feminists by giving these characters flaws and exploring those flaws. It was as if they were afraid that the feminists would be like, hey, you just portray those characters as weak. Women aren't weak. So they never give their characters any flaws, which would give them a chance to grow because they're afraid of that overreaction. But then they never tackle the idea that women can do anything just as well, if not better, than men, as if they're afraid that the anti-feminists are then going to rush and just say, you're just pandering to the female audience.
To be fair, I don't think they needed to do that, though. Like, just make your movie.
Yeah, exactly. You could have just made your movie, but they don't really do it either way. They made their movie, so they didn't tackle the women can do it better than men thing, which, okay, that's fine. They didn't want to do that. It won't anger the anti-feminist audience. But then they never approach their characters in a way that makes them relatable and understandable and gives this film any emotional core. It doesn't give your audience anything to go along with. They're just sitting there, passive, watching a film. You're not really being entertained and enjoying the movie. You're just consuming it. You really are a consumer in the business sense. And that's pretty much it. You don't get much more than that.
I think I can sum up what you're saying in just like very, very quickly. It's a poor fight comedy first and a Ghostbusters movie second.
No, I'd say it's a Ghostbusters movie third.
Third?
Yep. I would say it's a business tactic second and a Ghostbusters movie third.
But yeah, like, so yeah,
look, I'm making,
and like, the action isn't that great apart from one particular sequence.
Not really.
And the ghost designs are kind of whatever.
Yeah, I go where they're going for. They're going for a very stylized approach. It's very visually engaging, I suppose. But at the same time,
and the final act,
it doesn't have that tangibility to it. I know they're ghosts. They're obviously not tangible, ha ha ha. But no, you don't really get any sense of real danger. There doesn't feel like there are any stakes in it at all. Like, Melissa McCarthy is possessed once and is then instantly depossessed thanks to Leslie Jones's character. So you don't really get
that
the feeling.
Was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. But the fact that they were able to save her so easily and so quickly kind of removed any stakes. They were able to solve their problems very, very easily. And I'm making it sound like I didn't enjoy the movie. I actually did for the most part. This is definitely doing more things right than it's doing wrong. It's just that the things it's doing wrong so very much disappointed me, I suppose.
Like, the Ghostbusters don't really lose. Like, part of character development is, like, falling down. The Ghostbusters don't lose. Like, when something should be a loss, it's presented as a win. Even when it's not. Like, the very first ghost they encounter gets away. And then they're like... Oh, well... And instead of saying, oh, bugger, we just lost this ghost, they're like, oh, fantastic, ghosts are real. It's a win for us. Even though there's now a ghost.
It's very, very annoying. It's just very much...
Last thing is just the final act is just terrible. It's all over the shop.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. Well, that's what made me realise that nothing happens to the characters.
Like,
I started pulling a thread.
Like, all this stuff is happening, but you don't get a sense of what the goal that the Ghostbusters need to accomplish. And when suddenly they do achieve the goal, it comes out of nowhere because you didn't know that was the goal to begin with. Yeah. Like, it's just
a lot of very convenient things happen too to help them win. There's a couple of continuity errors.
Yeah, just like in terms of shots and stuff, just like basic filmmaking stuff, they just get wrong. Like, characters appear back in line after running hundreds of meters forward. Anyway.
Again, gives me the sense that something grander was in mind and then never really realised. But that was probably more of an editing thing than anything else. But still, it very much adds to that feeling. That really sums it up. In the end, it's a summer blockbuster. Turn your brain off, have some fun. The fact that there are 4 women in the lead roles instead of men does not change anything, which is probably a win for feminism, but at the same time, they never explore any interesting themes. They never do anything particularly fun, which Ghostbusters, while it is a movie about ghosts and action, is still fun. The characters never learn anything. They're just sort of there and they contradict themselves and each other on a regular basis. That said, they do have interesting dynamics with each other and there are a few good lines and laughter in there. Chris Hemsworth is dumb within the film, but fun and exciting as an audience member to watch.
Also, the audience was mostly little kids and families when we saw it, and there was this like really just like overtly adult joke really early on, and all the adults just burst out laughing, and I just
and
like, and it's like I feel so sorry for all the parents who have to explain that to their kids now, because it was like it was a thing. You'll know what we're talking about when you go see it.
Because it's so early in the film.
Yeah, I mean, I did laugh at that point.
I didn't. I think it was funny, and I was just sort of like, okay. Alright.
It's between a 5 and a 6, like.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
Yeah.
I originally had it as a 7.
Ooh, that's.
And then I thought about, you brought it up to me first, and I thought about it, I'm like, yep, that third act really just sort of doesn't do anything. It's very much all over the place, it falls apart. I'm like, okay, so it's a 6, because I really enjoyed the first 2 acts. And then I thought about it, I'm like, well, nothing happened in the third act, which means I don't really learn anything. And then from that I realised I don't really learn anything because there's not really much to do or grow as a character. Like, so actually these characters, nothing is learned in Ghostbusters except for the fact that ghosts exist. There's nothing for the audience to take away.
And also that they're conveniently very good at ghost busting.
Yeah.
And they learned that very early on.
Yeah. So it very nearly brought it down to a 5 as well. For that reason alone, because I put a lot of emphasis on story and character. I'm going to keep it at a 6 because it definitely does more right than it did wrong. And I was entertained during the movie. I came out enjoying it. What puts things into perspective is what happened after we saw Ghostbusters. So,
so for the first time...
the score was 6,
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so 6 and 6. Between 5 and 6... A 6.
Put it this way, I'll give it a 6 on IMDb because I'm rounding up from a 5.5.
Yep, fair enough. So there you go. Ghostbusters, sure. If there's really nothing else on, go see it. It's a decent summer... No, it's not a decent summer. It's an okay summer blockbuster. It's very much by the numbers. You gotta take those kids to see something. I guess you can go take them to see this.
Yeah. Now, we're recording this on a Friday.
Yeah.
Thursday is usually our day to go see movies. Thursdays or Fridays are our days to go see movies. So we went on Thursday because it was opening day for Ghostbusters. We thought we'd go see Ghostbusters, but we did something that we've never done before. We actually saw 2 movies back to back.
Yeah.
So we came out of Ghostbusters, ran and got lunch, ran back up to go see Central Intelligence.
And oh god,
which is legitimately
a superior film.
Like really, really good.
Yeah. Like I came out enjoying Ghostbusters at the end of it. But what put things in perspective was watching Central Intelligence. Central Intelligence is amazing. We talked about the characters in Ghostbusters having a reasonably good character dynamic. Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, their chemistry is amazing. It works so much better than I thought it would. I wouldn't say it's impeccable, because obviously it starts off weak at the start. But it builds so well, and it's so rewarding, and everything pays off. It's funny, it's clever, there's a bit of action as well. You get to see The Rock being The Rock and just wrecking dudes. It's so much fun.
That's actually one of my main issues with the film, but we will get to that.
Okay. I don't want to do this for too long.
I know, but I've actually got like a lot to say about Central Intelligence because because I was thinking about it a lot, and I think there's a very clear reason why I like it so much. I think why. The story, well, not the story is like about a terrorist plot, but I think why Kevin Hart's character in particular is so relatable is because his character represents almost an underlying fear we all have about the future.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's so good. Kevin Hart's character was this awesome popular like could do anything you wanted kid in high school and was very like most likely to be successful and all that stuff. And then we flash forward 20 years, and he's just an accountant now. And he says, and there's nothing wrong with being an accountant, but like he like felt like he would be doing something bigger with his life.
He had dreams,
and that's a fear we all have about the future. I think, which I think makes this movie so relatable.
Yeah, definitely.
And The Rock's great as well. At the very start, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this, because he like we don't really see it in the trailers, but The Rock does play like a massive man child. Like that's almost his character. It's very, very strange. But as the movie progresses, you realise it actually like kind of works once it's revealed he's a CIA agent.
Yeah.
So yeah, and from then on, like the movie's just like. Ooh,
really see, that's the thing. I love him as a man child. I love that even though he's like this massive, super buff dude, he was that socially awkward kid in high school, and a lot of that still carries over. He wears a fanny pack with like coins and a gun. Of course, because he's a CIA agent, in the fanny pack, which was like, my grandfather has one of those things. So the fanny pack really works within the sense of the character, within the movie. He wears his jumper around his waist. When he gets too hot, he takes his jumper off. And you don't actually see him do it, but in the next shot, he's got the jumper tied around his waist. It's like, he's such a dork, but I love it. And it's just, it's so cool. It's so relatable. The plot, at first glance, is a very much by the numbers spy plot. Yeah, like
there are some things that aren't explained, like for some they're able to get coordinates from a bank account. Like
the number of the bank account is the coordinates for the.
I mean, that's not how bank accounts work.
You're right.
But, like, it works within the movie. It's fine. You don't really think too much about it because everything that's happening on screen is so funny.
Exactly.
What else was I going to say? Oh, there are a couple of twists in the movie. One of them completely blindsides you, and it's amazing. The other one's a little more obvious, but still really well done.
Well, they play up. Well, that's the thing. The film plays up a really obvious plot twist. Like, oh, I can see what happens. Obviously, their X is going to be Y. And then, sure enough, like...
X is Y?
Well, no. This is the thing. X turns out to be Z, not Y.
Yeah.
It's, like, the film throws all of the clues in your face to say that X is Y, and then X turns out to be Z instead.
I mean,
without spoiling anything. I know it's hard to grasp.
But yeah, it was well done, but for some people, like, if you just think through, it's still kind of obvious, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It was because it was cool.
It's got a couple of unique twists.
Yeah, and it
tries to add something new, which Ghostbusters didn't do.
And something else I really like about this, like, the movie's funny on its own merits. It's funny because of the story, not because they're trying to chuck one-liners into it, like Ghostbusters that don't fit. Like most of the humor comes from just Kevin Hart's reactions to being in these situations, and that's hilarious. Because and they've only got an M rating to work with, PG-13 in America, just like Ghostbusters does.
Yeah.
And like, I looked at the director, he's directed movies like We're the Millers, like Dodgeball. Like, he's a director who usually works with an R rating, and so can just put vulgar jokes and stuff in, like, to his heart's content.
But he's also a good comedy director.
Yeah, like, they're both good. We're the Millers and Dodgeball are both good movies that I enjoy.
Like, they have direction.
Yeah, exactly.
And characters that grow.
I didn't say they're bad movies, I'm just saying he's able to use vulgar stuff to build comedy, but in this he can't. But it's still just as funny, if not more funny, than those movies.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's just really, really impressive.
Yeah.
I would say this
is funnier than Dodgeball and We the Millers. I'm not a huge fan of Dodgeball. I am of We the Millers. Central Intelligence is funnier than both of those movies. Probably better than both of them as well.
Yeah, where was I?
Sorry.
No, it's alright. Like, of course there are like just like a couple of vulgar jokes because you can because it's PG-13, but like nothing massive. Like I said, most of the comedy does come from Kevin Hart's just reactions and Dwayne Johnson's interactions with Kevin Hart, and it's just like really well done.
Because The Rock, his character, being that socially awkward kid in high school who somehow grows up to be a CIA agent, once you buy that fact, you can so thoroughly believe that this guy is so far removed from standard human perspectives of a scenario. What is odd to most people is not odd to him. So when Kevin Hart is reacting to something he does, he's just sort of there like, okay, buddy, let's go. And it's just like,
Yeah.
that's not the proper response for a human being. It's the way that they interact with each other that really moves the film along.
And you get some fantastic character development.
Yeah, we do. And there are some great lessons learned at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
There's emotional payoffs. I said this to you as we were leaving the film, and I really want to say it now. There are a lot of there's a lot of outtakes in the credits. So you see
really
them
funny.
trying to shoot things and getting them wrong. And there were a lot of laughs during the credits looking at those outtakes. Normally, that's an indicator that what happened off screen was funnier than what happened on screen, and that people are finally laughing at something because they've finally got something funny to laugh at. With this film, that isn't the case. People were laughing so much because them screwing up and having to redo this was still really funny because of the context of how it worked within the movie. Exactly. It had already been funny once, seeing them screwing up a second time just added to the film, and you'd already had such a great time relating to these characters, and once you saw the actors playing them screwing up, you still kind of had that connection with them, even though it shouldn't technically exist anymore. So that's it. You could go see Ghostbusters.
But you really should go see Central Intelligence.
It
wasn't even practice, that was good.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. You can find us on YouTube. Search us in the search bar, Working Title Productions. We're the first option that comes up. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Working Title YouTube. You can tweet me. I'm BenchWaters01, all lowercase, no spaces or anything like that, obviously. You'll see that down in the banner below. You can tweet to Edward. Ed, where can people find you?
At Edward Noack.
At Edward Noack. Nice and simple. You and Oliver have simple Twitter handles. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one.